high school when Suyin and Miju, desiring a private space, purchased a house with a secret room. While Suyin went abroad for further studies, Miju stayed behind to renovate their future love nest. However, on the day the renovation was completed, Suyin called Miju to break up, claiming she had fallen in love with the charming conductor Seongjin and planned to marry him. Suyin returned to Korea with Seongjin. At the airport, she ran into Miju and harshly tried to cut ties with her. Unbeknownst to Suyin, this encounter ignited Miju's desire for revenge. Soon after, they met again. Miju seemingly gave her blessings to Suyin and Seongjin, promising to keep their past a secret. Yet Suyin wasn't at ease, especially when noticing Seongjin getting too close with a violinist. She confided in Miju, who slyly suggested testing Seongjin by hiding in the secret room. Before putting the plan into action, Suyin took Miju home to check the secret room. Seeing the familiar space, Suyin was reminded of the joyful times they once shared. Soon, Suyin recorded a breakup video for Seongjin. Miju, pretending to be concerned, advised her to abandon the idea, but Suyin insisted. She asked Miju for the key and locked herself inside the room. Suyin, unaware of Miju's scheme, enjoyed watching the outside world through the one-way mirror, even happily waving when Miju appeared in the bathroom. Soon, Suyin realized her phone had no signal inside the room. Luckily, Seongjin didn't keep her waiting. Upon returning home, Seongjin found the breakup video. Seeing his hurt expression, Suyin was pleased but didn't plan to reveal herself yet. While Seongjin went out drinking, she playfully chained herself and enjoyed herself, finishing all the snacks. When she saw Seongjin's sorrow deepen, she decided to surprise him and reached for the key, only to find the door wouldn't open no matter how hard she tried. Suyin hadn't yet realized Miju's involvement and hoped she would come to her rescue. Meanwhile, Miju had already approached Seongjin under the guise of a job applicant. A simple interview didn't impress Seongjin, so he requested a live performance. Miju claimed she didn't bring her instrument but offered a recording. It turned out to be the love song shared by Seongjin and Suyin. Agitated, Seongjin abruptly stopped the audition. Yet, Miju calmly criticized him, saying a conductor shouldn't judge a musician's ability based on personal feelings, then confidently left. Intrigued by Miju's boldness, Seongjin visited her that night to apologize and personally handed her an acceptance letter. The next day, Miju officially joined the orchestra as a cellist, taking the seat that once belonged to Suyin. She subtly flaunted her charm around Seongjin, leaving a lasting impression. After the performance, Miju's car broke down and Seongjin offered her a ride, giving them a chance for private interaction. To express her gratitude, Miju suggested treating him to a drink. During their conversation, Seongjin realized they shared many similarities. When he casually proposed continuing their drinking at his place, Miju smoothly agreed. As they drank and chatted, Suyin, trapped in the secret room, found expired instant noodles. Desperate, she scrubbed off the mold with a toothbrush and ate them with cold water. Suddenly, Suyin saw a glimmer of hope when Miju turned on the bathroom light. But Miju's following words shattered that hope. Miju openly admitted she had switched the key and casually mentioned she was about to put on a show, encouraging Suyin not to miss it. Standing in front of the dressing mirror, Miju was embraced by Seongjin from behind. Suyin could only watch helplessly through the one-way mirror as they shamelessly indulged in passion. Furious, Suyin pounded on the glass, but the couple, lost in their desire, paid no attention. She then rushed to the bedroom's one-way mirror, screaming in despair as Seongjin and Miju passionately tangled on her bed. The next morning, Miju left without saying goodbye, but Seongjin was already addicted to her. Miju texted him, blaming their actions on alcohol and suggesting they both forget it. Yet Seongjin couldn't resist her. That night, he called Miju and played a sorrowful piece of music, successfully luring her back to his home. This time, fully sober, they gave in to their desires. At the peak of their intimacy, Miju provocatively stared into the bedroom mirror, clearly declaring her victory. Meanwhile, Suyin was utterly crushed, no longer the frenzied woman from the day before. Miju casually entered the bathroom and spoke to her, asking if Suyin would hand her over to the police if she let her out. Clinging to a sliver of hope, Suyin desperately promised she wouldn't and admitted she was at fault. But Miju ignored her pleas, muttering that she now understood Seon's feelings. She too wanted to possess Seongjin. In a fit of rage, Seon yanked the valve on a pipe, triggering a loud scream from outside. The valve had scalded Miju with hot water. The next day, Seongjin called a repairman to fix the issue. Seizing the moment, Seon turned the hot water valve again, startling them. The repairman calmly stated that parts needed to be ordered, and repairs would take several days before leaving. Utterly hopeless, Seon could only watch as Miju and Seongjin walked away from the bathroom, leaving her trapped and alone. One day, Seongjin visited Miju's home and was surprised to find that the door lock password was Seon's birthday. Although Miju casually explained it was just a coincidence, Seongjin couldn't shake off his growing suspicion. The next day at work, Seongjin's mother-in-law unexpectedly confronted him. She pointed out that in Seon's breakup video, there was another hand visible, meaning someone else was present during the recording. Seongjin suddenly remembered Miju wearing a similar bracelet during their first intimate night, further fueling his doubt. Determined to uncover the truth, Seongjin went to Miju's house. While she was washing dishes, he discreetly tried unlocking her phone using Seon's birthday. To his shock, it worked. The wallpaper on Miju's phone was an intimate photo of her and Seon. Confronting her, Seongjin asked coldly, "You were with Seon when she recorded the breakup video, weren't you?" Though Miju was guilty inside, she calmly maintained her composure. Miju admitted she was hired by Seon as a renovation designer, helped her move out, and claimed it was Seon's idea for her to fill the void as Seongjin's partner. When asked about the intimate photo, Miju simply replied they were very close friends. Seongjin demanded to know Seon's whereabouts. Miju feigned innocence and said she had no idea. However, Seongjin no longer trusted her and stopped inviting her over. Meanwhile, Seon was still trying to escape. One night, as Seongjin was washing up, the water suddenly stopped and resumed again. Realizing it could be a signal, Seongjin stood before the mirror, repeatedly asking questions. The water remained still until he directly asked about Seon. The water suddenly flowed again. Excited, Seongjin tapped on the mirror and discovered it was hollow. Seon, on the other side, became equally thrilled. But just as Seongjin lifted a flower pot to smash the mirror, he hesitated. Memories of his entanglement with Miju flashed in his mind. He feared that Seon might have witnessed everything. Seongjin's current position in the orchestra was thanks to his mother-in-law. If Seon sought revenge, he would lose everything, his reputation and career. His hesitation plunged Seon into utter despair. Later, Miju finally confessed to Seongjin about her past with Seon, but insisted that Seon had willingly locked herself in the secret room. Miju washed her hands of any blame. To drag Seongjin down with her, she even handed him the choice of whether to rescue Seon. Seongjin was clearly too afraid to take that risk. The situation seemed utterly hopeless. However, there was one person who truly wanted to save Seon, her mother. One day, both Miju and Seongjin received a text from Seon, sending them into a panic. After meeting up, they rushed to check the secret room. Their hurried departure quickly reached the mother-in-law's ears. It turned out that after witnessing Seongjin and Miju growing closer, Seon's mother grew suspicious. She had secretly reactivated her daughter's phone number and sent out probing messages. Her plan was simple. If Seongjin and Miju calmly showed her the messages, they were innocent. But if they panicked and fled, it would confirm they were guilty. Meanwhile, after more than half a month, the secret room door was finally opened again. The inside was a complete mess. As they cautiously stepped in, Seongjin finally saw what was behind the mirror. Eventually, they discovered Seon hiding behind the one-way mirror in the bedroom. At that moment, Seon was pretending to be unconscious. Once Miju lowered her guard, Seon suddenly lunged at her. Luckily, Seongjin quickly pulled Miju away. Miju shoved Seongjin in frustration, but she was immediately overpowered. Seongjin slammed her against the wall and coldly left her behind, escaping with Seon. Miju was now trapped in the very secret room she once used against Seon. Seongjin planned to turn himself in, but Seon firmly refused. Finally free, the first thing Seon did was take a long bath, even smugly flaunting herself in front of Miju. Their roles had reversed. And now Maju tasted the same helplessness Seohyun once endured. Half a month later, life seemed normal again. Seongjin casually washed up in front of the mirror like before, even planting a kiss on Seon's cheek before heading out. But the moment Seongjin left, Seon's expression instantly darkened. She forcefully wiped the kiss off her cheek. The heavy iron door, now chained, slowly creaked open. The secret room had been completely renovated. Maju sat on a soft bed in a seductive outfit, her ankles shackled by a cold iron chain. She lazily tossed the key in front of Seohyun. Seohyun smirked, confidently stepping into the room. Stocking the fridge full of food, she sauntered over to Maju and leaned in with a chilling smile. "Ready?" Seohyun whispered darkly. "Make me happy."